This is Face of Sports, WESN Content Capital. How you felt about the kiss on the lip?
That's the business. I'm nothing to do with that.
I find that was distasteful.
The national senior team, whether you like it or not, that is the model for all other teams to follow.
I'm assuming that the regional requirement may be a much stricter requirement.
This is not about Pro League and Super League. This is a league run by the Normalization Committee that I'm responsible for.
Nobody expected FIFA to fund this arrangement.
If we don't get a professional attitude towards this, we are doomed for failure.
You break the balance, trip the leg, control the body.
They ain't gonna stand put forever.
Why you want the Chiefs to lose so? Why you want the Chiefs to lose so?
They already have two. Lamar
Why? You're jealous because you know the Chiefs getting closer to the Patriots. Let's go to the last part.
No.
Let's go to the last part.
Always, we appreciate you starting your day with us. Let's get into this morning's first conversation.
Is the country's healthcare system more at risk more than ever?
Why it has remained unaddressed for so long.
Political parties get lots of cash, big cash from financiers, and then when they get that now, you can't account for it.
But it's really the specialist nurses who we are in a greater shortfall for.
We can tap into the resources and have them, at least form some mentorship programs.
Highlight our food systems, and which will attract persons from all over the world to come and experience something that actually supports the local economy.
We're lucky that we have a vibrant legal system that allows change to take place, and it's not that matters are just swept under the carpet and discrimination is allowed to be perpetrated.
A lot of people don't know that there were attempts to ban the carnival, suppress the carnival.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life.
Contact us at 17445 or email at info@smgrouptt.com. We are SM Group International, your solutions partner.
Win a brand new ride for Christmas in a 3-car raffle organized on behalf of Queens Royal College. First prize is a luxurious, fully loaded big ride Ford Ranger. Draw date Saturday, December 20th at the school. Tickets only $100. All proceeds for the further uplifting of the school. Tickets available from teachers, parents, alumni, and of the school. Also nationwide at Mart's Liquor Palace, Dingle Martin Main Road, Shamir, Uncle Beto, Santa Cruz, Better Deal Supermarket, Cunupia, and Aranguez, Khan's Liquor, Dingle Martin Main Road, Ramsing Sports, Chaguanas and Cuba, Bobby's Barbecue Wrap, Mirage Supermarket, Sangre Grande, West B Supermarket, Dingle Martin and Tacarigua, Cio's Bar, San Fernando, Payless Hardware, Dingle Martin Main Road, Don's Roti, Pitti Valley, Mirage Westside Arima, Western Pharmacy next to St. James Police. Also at islandetickets.com. For more info, call the college at 622-1671 or the hotline at 491-1082. Queens Royal College 3-car raffle.
WESN.
Speaking with an organization that has devoted 30 years to empowering persons who are blind or visually impaired across Trinidad and Tobago. The Persons Associated with Visual Impairment, better known as PAVI, is marking this major milestone with its 2025 fundraiser luncheon themed Christmas Cheer with PAVI, celebrating 30 years. The event, which is held under the patronage of former First Lady Mrs. Zaleha Hassan Ali, is set for Sunday the 30th of November at the Cascadia Hotel in St. Anne's. The funds raised will go directly towards sustaining the essential services PAVI provides to individuals facing vision loss as well as their families and caregivers. So joining me on the program this morning to share more about PAVI's work and what to expect from this year's celebration is Mr. Bawani Prasad, the first Vice President of PAVI. Good morning, Mr. Prasad.
Good morning, Naomi. My first time on this frequency.
Yes.
And it's a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome. So, Mr. Prasad, PAVI is celebrating 30 years. That's a long time.
Yes,
so can you
it
take
is a
us
good
back,
accomplishment.
Can you take us back to how and why PAVI was started in the first place?
Sure, no problem. PAVI was established on October 26, 1995. There are those who ask why PAVI, given the fact that there was a long-established agency involved in work for blind and visually impaired persons. At that time, there was a gap to be filled, and we felt as persons who've come through the run-of-the-mill, some of us totally blind from birth, some of us lose sight as adults, that we needed to do more for our community. And one of the ways is doing more is to introduce the true concept of adjustment to blindness. Well, in those days, it used to be referred to as rehabilitation services. Now, before that, many of us, each one teach one kind of scenario was happening, where we walk down the streets with our friends, so we grew confidence while walking with them, and if they could do it, we could do it too. But there is and there has been a professional way of techniques, of training, of giving persons hope after losing sight. So some of the components of the rehab program included, and still includes, orientation and mobility. That basically means to teach you how to walk properly using a cane, and using a cane the correct way. You just don't go beating around the pavement or, that kind of thing. You have proper techniques how you should use a cane. Secondly, how you cope, daily living skills. Now, many of us take life for granted. We take sight for granted. And when it appears that, look, we cannot or are not able to do the things we used to do or have not even learned. Some people, because they had eyesight, they tell themselves, well, look, I have a pot spoon. Why I burning my hand? Because, I'll always have somebody to do something for me or to get that done or whatever. But there comes a time when, because you're losing sight, because, you're being now challenged into a new phase of your life, you have to learn to do simple things for yourself. Make a cup of coffee, make a sandwich. Some people have been cooking all their lives. They may have to do things a little differently. Instead of just watching the pot and saying, well, look, the sugar brung enough. Yeah, it's all about timing. It's all about, focusing, all kinds of things. So you have to learn some new methods of coping with life. I go back to orientation and mobility. You used to go to church for yourself. You used to go and conduct your own business. You can still continue to do that despite losing sight, and you don't have to depend on family members totally and completely. I have known blind and visually impaired persons who got blind as adults and still continue to perform in some of their respective avenues. For example, we have a guy who lost sight as an adult. He was employed with the police service. He is still employed with the police service thanks to technology and thanks to the will on his part to live. Because with technology now he can no longer run down people on the streets, but he can function within the office environment because he has his laptop, he has his iPhone or whatever phone. It has devices such as speech devices, etc., that enable him to function. And he's just one of our success stories. We have another guy who, after losing sight, wanted to know what does the world has to offer him. And when he was introduced to PAVI, he learned orientation and mobility, as I specified, and it built his self-confidence, etc. And he became a power lifter, even as a blind person. And he attended many competitions internationally in Paralympics, etc. He was nominated for this country's Sportsman of the Year awards on a couple of occasions. He reached the top 10, within the top 10 fold of that high esteemed opportunity and honor. And, so it just goes to show that blindness is not the end of the world, but the beginning of a new phase of life. And therefore, orientation and mobility and rehabilitation and adjustment to blindness services are important to continue living. You know what it is, Naomi? Imagine you have someone who loses their sight, but who could still continue. So at the end of the day, when you come home from a hard day's work, you don't have to go and tumble a pot. They will get it done for you with technology and with efficiency, so that when you come home, you have a little more time for yourself, for the rest of your family. Make sure everything in the household is, in alignment with what you want it to be, so that there is life after blindness.
Yes.
And we continue to empower persons. Now, coming along the road, PAVI was able to get the government of the day back in that era to institute the voting rights for persons with visual impairment. Prior to, when you went to vote at national and local government elections, you had to be embarrassed by telling the presiding officer whom you wanted to vote for in the presence of, a number of people, including the party representatives and etc. Now, the irony with that is that, okay, I am voting for party X, or constituency representative X, and I know Candace, and therefore we had to make it private that persons can vote independently. And now that is happening.
So that actually, I wanted to find out, how has PAVI evolved over the past 3 decades? You would have mentioned some things about like technology and has, you all got new ways to deal with visual impairment, etc.
That is true. And we have evolved because we continue to empower people. We continue to advocate for situations and circumstances in the education and transport. We work with other NGOs. We work with the government services. We participate through conferences, etc., and make our voices heard in terms of improving the quality of life for persons who are blind and visually impaired.
What are some of the achievements that PAVI has accomplished over the past 8 years as well?
Well, I spoke about the independent or ability to vote independently from a national perspective. We have had several training avenues and opportunities working with groups like YTEP, teaching people how to make cakes and pastries and stuff like that. We have worked with the Making a Difference program, with teaching people music. Music is the food of life. And for blind persons, that is one of our strong points. We have a lot of good artists here in Trinidad and Tobago and the wider world. And many persons at one time refer to people like Stevie Wonder as the icon of blind people. Now we have a number of blind people who are doing things locally. Take, for example, Lingo. Lingo is known for extempo and has been, attending this finals and winning on a couple of occasions. So it's all about empowerment of blind and visually impaired persons in different fields. We have broadcasters. We have, people who are working in government offices, even within the structure of the Disability Affairs Unit. We have people employed there. We have people employed in other ministries. So it's all about encouraging and enhancing the lives of persons.
Yes. Now, let's get to understanding visual impairment, right? I think many people don't particularly understand that visual impairment is, it comes like a spectrum, because you have blindness, you also have persons with low vision. So can you explain the various categories of this visual impairment?
I am not a medical expert, but we've been guided by a number of things that determine when a person is blind,
right,
and the level of sight. Vision 20/20 is the norm, but when you're about vision 6/20 or that kind of, well, then you reach a category which in cricketing terms we call B3s, which is being able to see well enough to handle yourself. And then we have, B2s and B1s. The B1s are categorized as totally blind. Now, I use the cricketing terms because we do play a lot of blind cricket around the world, here in Trinidad and Tobago and beyond. The rules of the game are slightly different, but that's for another occasion. But the sight classification guides us to determine who is blind, who is legitimately blind, who is low vision, and to what degree and what extent.
And does PAVI accept all persons on the spectrum of vision?
Of course.
Based on your experience and your time at PAVI, especially your role at PAVI, how have you all seen persons with visual impairment? How do you all deal with persons with visual impairment in terms of emotional, social, financial assistance? What are the roles that you all have to support?
Remember I spoke earlier about the Adjustment to Blindness program, and one of the areas is counseling. We have two methods of counseling. We at one time had rehab officers or adjustment to blindness officers in the field, and one of their mandates was to provide counseling to the individual and to the families, giving them hope, encouraging them, motivating them. Another aspect of it is we've had the establishment of support groups. So we're not centralized to say you must come into town to get service. The rehab program allows us to go to your homes and provide that training for you. And one part of the training is we establish support groups. We've had a few over the years. They have dwindled for different reasons, different challenges. But the most active support group right now is our Cuba support group. And what it allows is that, for example, two blind persons or two low vision persons meeting and discussing, how are you coping with your blindness, how you do things, and sharing ideas, exchanging ideas, and so that when they come back next month, they could say, well, look, I have been successful in A, B, C, D, and they provide testimonies to us, which when you listen to them, they're very motivating, very encouraging. So counseling is a big part. And of course, we have other activities which we have done over the years. We focused on the youth, we focused on the young, the extremely young children, etc. We focused on adults. We even had at one time senior citizens groupings. So we've looked at all categories, all areas of life as a blind and or visually impaired person.
Right. Do y'all also counsel family members on how to better support?
Of course, we work with, yes, we give them counseling. Once we start an adjustment of blindness program, counseling is a part of it. In fact, our adjustment of blindness program allows a 13-week window of opportunity for training, for counseling, for motivating. And after that 13 weeks, you're supposed to reach a level of confidence where you can, you know, do certain things. For some people, it may be a little more challenging than others. Give me your age and all of these other considerations to look after. But it is a program that can be extended depending on your needs. A lot of it has to do with what you want, not just what is determined on paper or in theory, but what you want to learn, what you want to benefit from. For example, somebody who was a teacher want to continue to write, you know, whatever they want to write in print, so to speak. And, you know, you have gadgets that would help them so that they don't stray off the line, etc. Simple as signing your name in the bank. Until such time, you could still do that as a VI person using as a guide, a writing guide that will, you know, slot you in the position to allow you to do that kind of thing.
Right. Now, Mr. Bhavani, what improvements do you think that we need as a nation to better, regarding the accessibility standards for persons with visual impairment? Do you think we need to do more as a nation?
Let me answer that by saying I've been blind all my life.
Right.
So my view of life is a little different from someone who's lost sight. We, 50 years ago, had a lot of attitudinal problems. Slowly but surely, that is changing. But we still have those who feel, you know, that if I touch a blind person, if I shake a blind person, I go get, it's a disease. Blindness is a disease, which it is not. Yes, we have seen some changes in attitudes. We have seen some changes in behavioral patterns. But we still have to continue to live together and learn together, you know. We have seen where persons, for example, traveling on the buses, they are allowed to board the buses like other persons with other disabilities first before the other passengers. And that has been a practice, not even in buses, but also at the airport when you're traveling. We have worked with the airport's authority to assist persons in a dignified and meaningful manner. We've taught them sighted guide techniques, and that is one of the ways that people can learn to work and walk with blind people through sighted guide techniques, how to guide a person to a seat, etc. Simple techniques like those. And maybe, Naomi, I want to issue a challenge to your station, to this station, that we could do some little clips on sighted guide techniques, on different aspects of work for the blind, so that you can share with the listeners and the viewers as we continue to develop our relationship in Papi with this station.
Awesome. Well, I agree, and that's something we can definitely look into. So we will chat about it.
Right, well, that's something for the future.
Yes. So let's get to the luncheon, the
right.
fundraiser luncheon. Now, 30 years, and so I know this is a special time for the organization. Now, what is the best part about this 30-year mark for PAVI, and then this luncheon? What is going to make this luncheon different or special?
All right. Every year, we have been doing this luncheon for a number of years. It started as a dinner back in the 90s, but with the increase in crime and challenges, etc., we decided to make a shift, come to lunch, so that people come out early and get home early. This luncheon marks our 30th anniversary is true. And it is special because over the last couple of years, we have not been receiving a government subvention. We are currently working on re-establishing that subvention to us. And therefore, the funds raised from our launching and other initiatives throughout the year has enabled us to stay afloat, so to speak. We have an office to run. We provide limited services in terms of rehabilitation, etc. So a lot of it goes into that. And having said that, you know, it is important that when people look at the luncheon as not only an opportunity to come, sit down, relax, socialize, but whatever funds you give, part of it, the proceeds after all our expenses, go towards our rehab, goes towards our operations, so that we continue to provide services, much needed services to the community. We are finding more and more people losing sight, but we can't deal with everybody at the same time. Well, although we would love to, but the funds will not allow us. So funding is important, and therefore this luncheon is important. Now, what you can expect for the day, because that is awesome. Now, you know, this is the Christmas season. It is a very hectic time for all of us. Especially working late hours, etc., extra hours. And a Sunday might be the only day you might get to relax. So come, relax with us. The day's proceedings will begin at 12 noon, well, with the official welcome, etc., etc. We serve lunch from 12:15 to 2:30 p.m., 12:15 to 2:30 p.m. And the lunch is a Christmas menu to a great extent. So we have all the goodies that you're accustomed to at Christmas time too, etc. We have fish or chicken as choices of, you know, we have desserts, all of that. Now, apart from the lunch, you also have great entertainment. And we have known over the years to provide that. Everybody who come, they try to encourage others to join us the year after. The entertainment lineup includes a saxophonist, Stanford Callender. He's been with us for some years. It also includes Tiantec Lucis Brilliantis, that is a Parang group. Now, they have been with us since our initial launch and activity many, many years ago. So they are loyal. They look forward to it. This year, we have the Parang Queen. We have the Parang Queen with us. We have all kinds of other entertainment. We have Ronoman, Paranges. We have some pan mixed in there. We have some tabla mixed in there. So variety is the spice of life, and we have it as entertainment. We also have the opportunity for you, our patrons, and that might include you, once you get your ticket in time, to win attractive door prizes. So it's a good afternoon that you can spend. It's a worthwhile afternoon that you and your family can spend. Cost of tickets, $400 for adults, $375 for children under 12. And between today and Wednesday, you can call Pavi's phone number 220-1073 to ensure that you book your face in the place, right? We still have tickets, some tickets, limited tickets available. But after Wednesday, we have to cut off because, you know, we have to put all the logistical things in place. So people, if you're interested, call that number. We have somebody on standby to receive your call. Now, we make payments very easy. You know, everything these days is online. So you can pay online, send your payment receipt to us at the office, and we will then have your ticket for you at the door, rather than you having to run around and go to the Pavi's office, which is located at 32 Eastern Main Road in Campus Building, St. Augustine. Instead of doing all of that, and you live in Couva, you live in different parts of the country, even Marval, or etc., you can pay online and collect your tickets at the door. It will be there with your name. Once you pay, send us the receipt confirmation that I have paid. I need 4 tickets, etc., and we will label it with your name on it and, you know, the number of tickets required. So all of that is being made easy.
Right. Now,
you know,
I know earlier I mentioned Mrs. Zelia Hassan Ali.
Zelia Hassan Ali.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you just, give us a little idea of, who she is and her role with PAVI in this event?
Mrs. Hassan Ali has been patron of PAVI for a long time. After the Hassan Alis, Mr. Hassan Ali was at one time president of our republic. That is Mr. Noor Hassan Ali. And after leaving office, we decided to approach Mrs. Hassan Ali in particular, to be our patron because she's such a lovely lady, such a pleasant lady. And she agreed, she willingly agreed, and has continued to support the organization over the years with her presence at many of our activities and her words of wisdom to the crowd, etc., etc. So Mrs. Zaliya Hassan Ali, a lady, 90 plus, but going strong, is here with us.
Yes.
And she's our patron.
Awesome. So what is the vision for PAVI over the next decade? These fundraisers will keep happening, the luncheons.
Well, apart from the fundraisers, once we get funding in place, and we're working towards getting that done, we will re-establish the adjustment to blindness programs. We will do more outreach initiatives. We will be able to offer training in specific areas. And for people learning computers and Braille, what we do, we will refer them to NALIS. There is a program at the National Library and Information Services that they have rooms for the blind and visually impaired. So if people want to go to learn the computers, learn to use their iPhone, because that's the in thing these days, your phone,
Yes.
Long time we had touch-tone phone and rotary dial phone that you could put your hand in the hole and dial. But now everything is iPhone and that kind of system. And we teach you how to use your iPhone. Now, I will be honest, I don't like using iPhone just by touching. I use a keyboard that connects to the phone so that I can type, because I can type very well. I'm very versed at that. So I use my keyboard instead of touching the screen. But there are many people who touch the screen and do it very efficiently and get through with it with immense success. Sighted people marvel when they see us operating our devices, whether it be our phones, whether it be our computers, and simple things like putting labels on your microwave and stuff like that. And there are other things that people can use to help themselves rather than being dependent.
Yeah.
Independence is the name of the game. You may not get it 100% right, but you will get it. The only thing that a blind person or person who have lost sight cannot do is drive a car.
Yes.
You understand? But we can function in other areas.
And I'm sure there will be technology really soon, if not already.
Well, we talk about driverless cars and all of that. But I didn't think Trinidad will be ready for that. In the same way, we're not ready for guide dogs yet.
I understand. Now, a little while ago, you mentioned youth programs or youth involvement. When it comes to, youth and PAVI, what is the youngest age that you'll accept persons coming in to the organization for assistance?
Once you're a youth, you qualify.
Right.
And I think based on all kinds of initiatives, all kinds of
do you see many young people?
Youth is 16, 18, 20, going up to about 30, 35. And we encourage youths to join because there are programs, for example, the United Nations had an initiative the other day, and they wanted some youths to speak. And, it was kind of difficult to find one to speak at an international forum. But we had a program in Barbados recently, the Commonwealth Youth Disabled Forum, where we were able to identify and send one young person to that program to benefit. Because all of us, so some of us who are aged like 60, 70 and things, we're moving on. We have to make room for others. And succession planning is important. So we ask the young blind persons to come on board, to offer your skills, your talents, that you too can help to build and to help others like yourselves.
How can the public get involved with PAVI, whether that be volunteering or donations?
Rather than the volunteering, you say?
No, I'm saying how can the public get involved with PAVI?
Inclusive of volunteering. Inclusive of volunteering.
Yeah.
And there was a gentleman, you might be too young to know, that there was a gentleman who had a business, and his tagline was, "We need the money." We too need the money so that we can offer more services to more persons. We can offer technical aids and appliances, walking canes, writing guides, even CCTV, because we have done all of that in the past. We offered, when we had students going to secondary school, we offered CCTV, closed circuit television, so that they could read off their stuff, etc. You know? So it is like that. It is like that.
So you'll definitely do accept volunteers.
Yeah. We need volunteers. We need volunteers.
Right. So I guess PAVI has social media accounts that persons can visit to get more information.
Yeah, well, the Republic Bank account is pretty long, so what you need to do is to call the office. You can get the account there and make the transaction necessary. So, you know, those accounts, some of them are very long. You know?
Right.
So call the office. We have a Facebook page, PAVI Trinidad. We have a YouTube channel where you can go back and see we have held Calypso competitions in the past for the blind, and you can see all that has taken place, some of the persons who have done yeoman service to the art form, etc. So there is a lot happening, and we try to promote it using social media as well. The younger people in our group are now working towards things like Instagram and X and all of these things.
Yeah.
You know? So we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely.
Yeah. I also see there's a website, PAVITT.com.
Yes, we do have a website.
You can visit.
So there are many ways to communicate with us.
Yes. And just to reiterate, the contact number is 220-107-3.
3, yes. Yes, that's the contact number.
Awesome.
Right?
So before...
And our email is pavi1tt@gmail.com. Very simple. All non-capital letters, or common letters as we call them. Right? So we urge people to get on board, to support, because you never know, who you could be helping. You might be helping families, friends, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Nobody. And we also offer programs on prevention of blindness. We give tips on how you could prevent your sight loss. We have a lot of brochures. We have to update them next year. So and that and all costs money. So in order to update and upgrade, as every company, every organization should do time after time, we need to sustain that with financial contributions.
So just
right? So you just have a few days, people, until Wednesday. Make sure that you get your tickets to attend that luncheon on the 30th of November. And again, let me reiterate, reading from my memory script, that it starts at 12 noon. It's at the Cascadia Hotel and Conference Center out there in St. Anne's. Cost of tickets, all right, yeah. So we do have, as I said, it starts at 12 and it goes right down till 4. There's entertainment all afternoon. There is good food, good company, etc. And we do collaborate with a number of agencies in ensuring that blind persons get benefits, because we do not believe in segregation. We believe in integration as far as humanly possible. So we collaborate with a number of agencies of persons with disabilities and beyond. So agencies like the Diabetes Association, ever so often, the Diabetes Association will come to our office to offer eye screening to members of the public. We collaborate with the Consortium of Disability Organizations. We are a member of the Caribbean Council for the Blind, and I have been on that executive since 1999 and continuing. So you would recognize that we are a member of an exclusive member of the Commonwealth Disabled People's Forum. So we're not just in our local space. We're really recognized and appreciated for our contributions at the regional and international levels as well.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Bawani, for joining us on the program this morning and sharing and telling us all about PAVI for those of us that do not know. And we wish the organization all the best moving forward, and I hope that the funds are raised so y'all can do what y'all need to get done.
And as we said, we have to collaborate with you all too. We collaborating or not?
Yes. Well, yeah, I mean, this and all is a collaboration, so we'll definitely discuss for future as well.
Well, thank you, Naomi, for having me on the show this morning, and I look forward to hearing, I can't see, so hearing many of you on Sunday. You say, all right, I saw you on TV, you didn't do a good job, so, you know, next time, get off the People TV. But be that as it be. Just kidding. That's just having a little fun.
That's all right. I do enjoy the rest of your day, Bhavani.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
So we are going to take a quick break now. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Win a brand new ride for Christmas in a 3-car raffle organized on behalf of Queens Royal College. Merry Christmas! First prize is a luxurious, fully loaded big ride Ford Ranger. Draw date Saturday, December 20th at the school. Tickets only $100. All proceeds for the further uplifting of the school. Tickets available from teachers, parents, alumni, and at the school. Also nationwide at all branches of True Value, Reliable Appliances, Christina Shoe Store, Kenny Sports, Unique Bookstore, Extra Foods, JTA Supermarkets, Police Credit Union, ABC Home Center, The Trinity Shop, PRW Enterprises, Sharon Bookstores, Miguel Moses and Sons, Ishmael Khan and Sons, Modern Electrical, Crosby St. James, Attorleys by the Park, Tribe, Mass Carnival, Cinnamon Drugs Sangre Grande, Bellini Truck San Fernando, Ronnie and Carol Maraval Road, IslandEtickets.com. For more info, call the college at 622-1671 or the hotline at 491-1802. Queens Royal College, 3-car raffle.
Every time someone steps into your elevator, they trust it will carry them safely. That's why preventative maintenance matters. It protects lives and shields you from liability. It prevents sudden breakdowns that disrupt business and drain budgets. And it keeps you compliant, so you never have to second-guess safety. With Ardent Solutions, you're not just maintaining elevators, you're protecting people, preserving trust, and keeping your building moving forward.
My name is Dr. Stephen Carroll, the CEO at Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist, and we are committed to making good private healthcare affordable.
For all your medical needs, including dental, radiology, laparoscopy, behavioral and mental health, along with many other services, contact us for more information at 235-5479.
Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist,
where good private healthcare is affordable.
Feeling drained? Struggling to keep up? It's time to take control of your wellness. On this episode of Wellness Unlocked, we're diving into the key nutrients your body needs for all-day energy and balance. With 100% or more of your daily essential vitamins, plus added chromium to support healthy blood sugar, this is complete wellness in a single soft gel. Join us as we uncover how small changes can make a big impact on your health. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on WESN and take the first step toward better health.
Welcome back to In Prime this morning. So, International Men's Day, which was observed on November 19th, was a very special day, and I think it's a day that goes unnoticed, for most of us. I especially was one, and I'm admitting to this. The day went unnoticed for me, and I felt really, I was disappointed that I didn't realize that that day it's something that should be spoken about. And so we still want to take a moment to highlight its importance and reflect on the meaning behind the day itself, the conversations around men's well-being. We've had multiple conversations on this program about men's mental health and how we should raise our boys and to become great men. So International Men's Day, and I also got some history, a little background information for you all as well. Now, International Men's Day has a powerful history, and it actually began right here in the Caribbean, in Trinidad and Tobago. The modern observance was founded in Trinidad and Tobago by historian and educator Dr. Jerome T. Luxing from the University of the West Indies. Now, when I saw this, my jaw dropped, because we've had Dr. Jerome T. Luxing on the program before, and I was very much unaware that these are things that he does. He did this, and he did this to commemorate his father, who was actually born on November 19th. The day itself was established in 1999, and this inspiration came because he viewed his father as a strong, positive role model, and motivated by a desire to honor the contributions of everyday men. His father constantly spoke to him about what a man should be and what a man represents, etc. So he chose this date, November 19th, for two reasons. As I mentioned, the first reason was his father's birthday, and it marked a moment of national unity when TNT's football team came close to securing a World Cup place in 1989. So both represented the kind of positive male achievement he wanted the world to recognize. Now, the day itself, the goals of the day, what the day represents or what the day should represent, it promoting positive male role models, so not just famous figures, not just men, but men in our communities, our everyday men who are making an honest living, who are just making an effort every day to show up for the persons in their lives. It's also to celebrate men's contributions to their families, workplaces, and society, highlighting men's health, especially mental health, where men are statistically less likely to seek help. Again, this is conversations we've had before, and we should continue to have, that it's okay for a man to be vulnerable, right? Improving gender relations and promoting equality for everyone. So this day is not just about women. It's not a day to compete against National Women's Day or International Women's Day. It's solely for, it's a completely different reason, right? Creating a safer, more supportive environment for boys as they grow into adulthood, and addressing social issues that disproportionately affect men, such as stigma around expressing emotions, fatherlessness, educational struggles, and higher suicidal rates. So this is a day that is recognized in more than 80 countries worldwide, but again, its heart remains here in the Caribbean, and I will try this week, before, I don't want the time to pass too much, but this week I will try to get a conversation on this topic, on, highlighting men's mental health or something surrounding just International Men's Day itself. And yeah, because men and boys matter, and I know a couple months ago we spoke with our with psychologist Sule Joseph on Boys Cry Too. That was the topic, and that was a really, really insightful conversation that I enjoyed a lot, and I know many of you enjoyed that as well. So this is just a reminder to check in on the men in your lives to create spaces where they can express themselves without judgment and without fear, and to continue redefining masculinity to include empathy, kindness, and emotional strength. So we just want to acknowledge today, even though today is not International Men's Day, but I think every day we should acknowledge our fathers, our brothers, our sons, mentors, colleagues who contribute to our communities in meaningful ways. Now, I work with a lot of men myself here in the office, so it is, I think, conversations that it's appropriate to have right here on WSN as well. So that's what I wanted to mention. Happy belated International Men's Day to all the men in our lives and in my life as well. So we are going to take another quick break, and we will close off this morning's episode of AM Prime with another conversation. Stay with us.
Win a brand new ride for Christmas in a 3-car raffle organized on behalf of Queen's Royal College.
Merry Christmas.
First prize is a luxurious, fully loaded big ride Ford Ranger. Draw date Saturday, December 20th at the school. Tickets only $100. All proceeds for the further uplifting of the school. Tickets available from teachers, parents, alumni, and of the school. Also nationwide at Mart's Liquor Palace, Dingle Martin Main Road, Shamir, Uncle Beto, Santa Cruz, Better Deal Supermarket, Cunupia, and Aranguez, Khan's Liquor, Dingle Martin Main Road, Ramsing Sports, Chaguanas and Cuba, Bobby's Barbecue Wrap, Mirage Supermarket, Sangre Grande, West B Supermarket, Dingle Martin and Tacarigua, Cio's Bar, San Fernando, Payless Hardware, Dingle Martin Main Road, Don's Roti, Pitti Valley, Mirage Westside Arima, Western Pharmacy next to St. James Police. Also at islandetickets.com. For more info, call the college at 622-1671 or the hotline at 491-1082. Queen's Royal College 3-car raffle.
If these walls could talk, they'd cry uncle. They didn't plan to become offices or yoga studios, but they've stood by us, even when we got a little stir-crazy. For that, they deserve some thanks. They deserve Benjamin Moore.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, the Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity, from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378, or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
SM Group International Limited, your solutions partner for the latest innovations, brands, and competent staff to meet your needs. We provide products and services in the following divisions: executive services, event rental and services, power and heavy equipment, construction and property management, food and beverage, aggregate and sales and distribution. Check out more on our products and services at www.smgrouptt.com. Contact us at 221-7445 or email at info@smgrouptt.com. We are SM Group International, your solutions partner. FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
This is Face of Sports, WESN Content Capital. How you felt about the kiss on the lip?
That's the business. I'm not to do with that.
I find that was distasteful.
The national senior team, whether you like it or not, that is the model for all other teams to follow.
I'm assuming that the regional requirement may be a much stricter requirement.
This is not about Pro League and Super League. This is a league run by the Normalization Committee that I'm responsible for.
Nobody expected FIFA to fund this arrangement.
if we don't get a professional attitude towards this, we are doomed for failure.
You break the balance, trip the leg, control the body.
They ain't gonna stand put forever.
Why you want the Chiefs to lose so? Why you want the Chiefs to lose so?
They already have two. Lamar don't
Why?
have.
You're jealous because you know the Chiefs getting closer to the Patriots. Let's go to the last part.
No,
let's go to the last part.
This is 10 questions. I'm Andy Johnson. The distance from where we should be in the world in going forward on our commitments with climate change.
The effects of climate change that cannot be accounted for, it's called loss and damage. And we're seeing loss and damage happening so much more in this decade and the previous decade.
The principal term there was this question of the correspondent banking issues.
That is why we're trying to build capacity with this country here, Trinidad and Tobago, and other countries in the region.
Man is not showing any signs of stopping or even slowing down. More than half of the forest in Trinidad is already gone.
All the plants and all the animals and all of the nice clean water and fresh air and everything had to be on this planet for humanity to have a chance.
We have small change when it comes to countries that can take decisions, and when they speak, the world listens.
The General Assembly is a very democratic forum. And Trinidad and Tobago has the same vote as Canada, in spite of the obvious difference in size.
WESN. I'm Naomi Macnish. So this morning we're joined by a Trinidadian artist, Orlando Griffith, also known as Morpheus, a creative mind who sees beyond the surface of things. His debut solo exhibition, Lucid Dreams Don't Sleep, opens on November 21st at Arnim's Art Galleria. It's a collection that invites us into a world where stillness, memory, and transformation meet. So joining me is Orlando, and he's going to discuss his pieces, discuss what art means to him, what each piece represents, and we'll get a clearer understanding of what we can expect at this art exhibition. Good morning, Mr. Griffith. Welcome. Thank you for joining me on the program this morning. So, right off the bat, we have some pieces displayed right now, but before we get to those, let's talk about the title, Lucid Dreams Don't Sleep. Explain the meaning of that. Where did it come from? What is, how are you bringing that to life?
Sure. So again, thanks for having me. State of lucidity basically is awareness. And I've always had this dream of being a serious artist. The story of this journey really started back around COVID. Unfortunately, around that time, my father got sick, and I was, kind of messing around with art a little bit, and I did a few pieces for my daughters, and my father saw them, and he was like, you should really start back, because I haven't done anything over 20 years. I was good in high school, and I didn't choose art and stuff, but eventually, I worked my way back to it, especially during COVID, because we weren't doing anything. Yeah. So he said, I think you should start back. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I think you should start back. Might be a retirement plan or something like that. So I kind of laughed it off. And then when he passed, eventually, unfortunately, it was like, it bothered me that I didn't take this thing up again. And then eventually I slowly worked my way back to it. I got a few mentors, some people to help me. And I did a few little exhibitions here and there, collaborative efforts and whatnot, and it was successful. And Arnim himself from the gallery asked me, you think you want to do a solo show? And I was questioning, am I ready? And he was like, I think you are. So I spoke to a few teachers of mine, and they were like, we think you're ready. Because I was just pumping out work, and it was just flowing. And to me, I'm a professional coach, and you don't just sit on your dreams. Dreams don't sleep. You really need to really get off your butt and do something. And I chose to follow my dream and don't let it sleep. and make it happen. So this state of awareness and this pursuit of a dream is where it really came from.
And in terms of your art pieces, what is the main concept of your work in general?
Well, I was just painting, honestly. I didn't realize what was happening, and everything was just flowing. This flow state occurred, and I was just pumping out work. And as I sat back and I looked at everything, I realized the theme was about peace and stillness and observation and being centered and stuff like that. And life has a lot of chaos for most of us, and I chose to use the art as a way of escaping the chaos and finding center and finding peace in my life and stuff like that. And I'm in that state right now. I'm in much of peace and harmony in my life, and I feel that this is what's happened and this is what manifested.
So, as you just said, a journey through stillness is more or less the concept of the collection. Is it this collection?
Yes. I realize that the collection has a theme, and it's about observation. And the things that I've painted tend to seem to look back at me. And I've been using photography as well to inform my work. So I started doing photos myself, getting a proper camera, going in the bush, because I grew up in the bush, and my father used to take me in the bush all the time, and walking through the forest and everything and seeing things, and things coming to me in a way to help inform the work. So I always kept my eye open, and again, the awareness brought forward work that made sense.
Yeah. Since observation, is the central the central part of your art, and I guess capturing, because I'm looking at these pieces, and as you said, with the things that you paint stare back at you, and I'm just seeing like eyes.
Yeah.
But how do you decide what moments or subjects to capture, to translate onto a canvas?
Well, one of the lines I realized that I've kind of made up in a sense was that my father, Heavenly Father, gave me eyes, and my earthly father gave me vision. And his ability at the time when I was with him, he used to see things that I never saw. So we'd go in the bush or whatnot, and he'd say, "Hey, look, I'm going up there." And I'm like, "Where?" And he'd find things, and it was crazy how he would do it. So as time went on, I started to develop this skill, and I would see things and people would not see it. And so the work started to manifest in a way that I would see something in a photo or in any kind of space, and that makes sense, and I would just paint it. And
So are these paintings based off of actual photos, or these are just what you
some
concocted?
of them are kind of memory, but most of them are from the photos that I've taken myself. So this is hard work, because sometimes you don't get things you want, and you have to stand up in the hot sun or in the bush or whatever, and mosquito biting you, and you're just trying to figure out, how can I get this shot? And then from when I get it myself, then I sit down and I look at it, and this works. And it would be from thousands of shots, and from one or two you finally get, okay, this is a good one.
Right.
So even in the show, I have 30 photos that I would be displaying as well, alongside 30 paintings. So this is some of them here. Yeah.
Can we just have a closer look at each of them?
Sure.
I want to start with this one.
All right, so you know what this is, right?
This is, it could be a kobo.
It's a kobo.
Okay.
All right, so kobos are cool. I like kobos.
It threw me off because of the colors that you chose.
Exactly. So people don't look at kobos in any kind of way of admiration.
Yeah.
Period. And in my first exhibition at the Art Society, one of my first pieces was of a kobo. And it was from a photo that I took on Lady Chancellor Hill of this majestic kobo just sitting down there chilling in the breeze in a tree. And he was looking at me, I was looking at him, and I was like, okay, click. And I went back and I painted it under the guidance of my teacher. And this thing came forward and I was like, it is pretty cool. Because I changed the color, I changed the whole perception of what the kobo looks like. And when we went at Art Society, it was a hit. Nobody wanted to buy it because it's a kobo.
Yeah.
And in the last day of the show, like in the last hour, a couple came in and they were like, oh my God, we want this. And what it meant to them was, in African culture or something like that, the kobo is the medium between heaven and earth. So to them, that was important.
Yeah.
And it kind of touched me too, because I was like, okay, you know, people seeing things that I didn't see, but which was great, because that's what art's supposed to do. So I said, okay, and I went back and I looked at some of my other kobo shots, and I said, you know, hey, this one has our interesting gaze. He was looking at me and I was looking at him, and I was like, you know what, okay. And the day was nice and hot, and he was radiating in the sun. I'm gonna make him a little golden and change the whole concept of what people think about kobos, because you know, scavengers, but they have a function.
Yes.
They are very important within the ecosystem. And you know, as I say, I grew up understanding animal life and biology and everything like that. And I think everything has a place. And even though you think it's not important and it should be by the wayside, or we should ignore it or shun it, he has an important function in life. And that's why we have to kind of revere him, because if he wasn't around, we'd have a lot of dead things all over the place, and we too might die because one of these things don't exist.
Yes.
You know, so it's important.
And I think it's strange as well, because when you think of a kobo is black. If you had painted the kobo as is, I think it would have given the picture a very dark, kind of maybe Ori presence, but with the colors, it almost seems happy, and it kind of lifts my mood looking at it.
Yeah.
So I can see, you know, using color to express emotion seems to be a vital part of art itself.
Yeah, so for me, again, chaos and all that craziness in life, it could put you in a state where there's always darkness. But I feel like, you know, there's color in everything. in every part of your life, they should find color. And even though something as you know, ugly as a kobo, you could find beauty in this. And I have put beauty in the kobo.
Yes. I think the next thing I'm really interested to know about is this one here.
Blood moon.
So this was a picture.
So this was, we had a blood moon in March, and I have a good camera, so I took a picture of the moon under this hue. And I went back home, and I've done moon paintings before. I've done one last year for Doctors for a Cause. It was for auction. It was well received. Was the Sahara moon, and because the Sahara dust was real prominent last year, the moon looked brown and golden and stuff, and I painted it. It sold. It was really good. And then this year we had this blood moon.
Yes.
And I saw it and I was like, okay, let me try to see what I could do with the blood moon. And it turned out to be pretty good. Again, I changed certain things. I kind of lifted certain things. And one of the little bit of flexibility I took with this piece was I put some iridescent and glow-in-the-dark paint on it. So at night, when you take off your lights, that painting still glows. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The moon itself.
The moon still glows. So, you know, even though you might see this as it is now, things continue to last beyond what you see.
Yes.
So even though you take off the lights and you don't see, there's still things could be there that you might see.
It's incredible. The dimensions of the moons, the spots, everything.
Yeah. So I really take time. Detail is one of my strong points, and I continue to do that because detail in my life, as far as my work and everything, I pay close attention to detail because it's important. So some artists tend to just paint and leave the brain to make the decisions of where things go. I kind of sometimes lead the person to that place, but there's an explanation why I would put so much detail behind my efforts.
What does capturing these things, actually mean to you? And I'm saying this because, like this blood moon, for example, I remember when it had the blood moon. I witnessed it myself.
Right.
I was coming to the studio the morning, and the moon was so massive.
Right.
It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was just, the color was, I've never seen anything like it before.
Right.
And I thought to myself, if I could do it, I would. Right. Because it was something that, you would want it to last. I would have, if I could have, I would have stopped at the side of the road and just looked at it all day. But obviously you can't.
But that's why I do this, because you felt something seeing that moon. Now you know that there now.
Yes.
That speaks to you, and it makes you want to have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Stare at it, look at it, and you feel.
That's what art's supposed to do.
Seeing it that morning.
Yeah.
You
That the feeling of that is important, and I try to capture some of these things that continue to make you feel, and that's what really art is about,
Yes. So this piece at the end.
Right. So this one, I love this one a lot. So I have to give credit to the photographer, wesn. He got this shot, I think it was in Caroni. Real good photographer. I really admire his work, and so I asked for permission to paint this caiman. And again, it's about stillness, it's about peace, it's about looking, observation. These animals survive by observation.
Yes,
right?
they're very stealthy and they
stillness.
go unnoticed.
Right, and this is very important. That I think this was part of my show. Again, changing a bit of the viewpoint. Caimans don't really seem to be important, but they are.
Yes.
And the beauty in them is really the stillness, what's happening under the water. We're really not sure, but on top, it's tranquility. And that's me. You're not sure what's going on inside, but I must maintain my peace, maintain my position, and continue to observe the world in a way that benefits me.
Yeah, it's incredible. The piece itself is...
This was hard. This was a real hard piece. It took me 2 weeks. Usually I paint very quick because of the intensity, but I really wanted to get this right and respect what the photographer did and kind of replicate back what I saw, but in a way that's respectful to him, that it doesn't pervert what he did or what he got out of the shot.
Would you say this is your favorite piece?
It's one of my favorite pieces. I have, as I say, 30, and they were all my favorites,
Yes.
but some were more favorite than the others.
So I know you brought the 2 other pieces.
Sure, yeah.
Let's have a look at those.
Sure. So this one is called Bird on a Wire. Real simple, right?
Why?
Why? So, again, a lot of the shooting occurred out in the real world, and I saw a lot of birds on wire. And this bird is called a saffron finch. You don't really see people, we call them like the Trinidad canary, but they're all small, pretty, and yellow, and they move in pairs. And this bird I saw in South on a wire. Now, I have plenty shots with birds on wire, but I really can't do anything with them. I really can't sell them or anything like that, because nobody really wants to buy a bird on a wire. But I felt that, this bird is too pretty to just leave alone on a wire. And if you notice that how I painted, this is the frame. So what I did, I painted the back of the frame to the front. And I put the same apparatus that would usually hang the frame in the front, and put the same bird on the wire. And I have a few of these that work really well. And so it's of a little series called Bird on the Wire series. So birds that seem very common and nobody really looks at them on the wire. So it works.
And then the fact that these birds, you said, they move in pairs.
Yeah.
But this one, surprisingly,
It was a bit solitary. I don't know why he was there, but I saw him and he was doing his thing and looking back at me again, and I gave him some life, and we could continue to remember him.
I think it's very impressive.
Right. Thank you.
So the last one is a scenic one. That one I really admired. I love looking at scenes.
Right. So this one.
And this looks like Las Cuevas.
Yeah, everybody knows this one. So Cuevas is short, everybody knows this rock, everybody knows this scene. Again, I wanted to change a little bit about it. How we see it, again, is about peace, observation. Everybody loves the beach in Trinidad. Everybody loves to go here and just kind of relax and find themselves and center themselves. Why this beach is important to me too is that one of the major hikes I've done with my dad was walking from Maraca, St. Joseph, over El Tucuch Mountain, that range, and then coming into Las Cuevas, bathing, and then walking back home.
Wow.
We took about 8 hours. The group of guys that we did it with was one of my favorite set of people. So this is a memory too of that experience. And what I unfortunately did was walk in jeans, and the chafing was horrible. Oh so this is about a memory that I loved of walking that far, taking eating the salt, as we say, and then going back. So this is what it was.
Again, with the color, I noticed there are colors there that you wouldn't usually see in a blue sky. I mean, there's purple and pink. Yeah. Why those colors? What are they supposed to?
I took artistic license, and I put what I want, and I think the light is not just white. Remember, we have like prisms to make like these different colors in the spectrum to make white.
Yeah.
So when you look at the sky, sometimes you kind of glare, blow your eyes a little bit and squint a little bit. You tend to see some more colors that are there. Mm-hmm. And one of the techniques I've learned from one of my teachers, Beverly Fitzwilliam Harris, she always tells me, like, take a step back and squint, and you'll see things that, that within the blurriness kind of pop up. And this is what I've done. So take a step back, squint, change your perception by squinting. If we keep our eyes open, you'll always see what you want to see, but when you squint, you kind of see other things.
Yes. No, that's true. There's there are these pictures that just pop up online,
right.
Random pictures, but people in
right.
them, and they tell you squint and see what you see, and when you squint, you see a completely different picture. You
Correct.
see words formed out of the persons, and that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I use other colors to kind of denote life, happy colors.
Yes.
Pink, purple, yellows, these kind of different things. Within my show, green is a very much prominent color. So unfortunately, because we have this green screen, I can't do it. But yeah, this is part of it, and the show is going to be a success. I believe that because I put a lot of work into it. It's honest work, it's hard work, it's intensity, is everything, and that's how I operate. So.
What is the constant emotion that you hope people get out of your pieces?
When they come to my exhibition, I want them to relax. Honestly, one of the things I want to do, and I hope everybody goes along with it, is that when they come to the exhibition, they whisper. I don't want anybody talking loud. I want just everybody whispering in the exhibition, because this is what we're about, because I don't want the kobo to fly away. I don't want the moments to be missed, because it's about peace and stillness. So when you come in, stay quiet, speak softly, walk softly, observe, pay attention, and that's basically what I want.
Yeah. So at the start of the conversation, you would have kind of mentioned or, you gave me the idea that art became a sense of healing.
Yes, it was.
For you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share that moment when creating felt like a breakthrough or felt like a release of some sort?
So there's one piece in the exhibition that it was the first time I actually cried after painting it.
Right.
It was immense. The emotions was really heavy, and I didn't realize it was that heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Again, one of my favorite places growing up in Maracas, St. Joseph, was the Maracas waterfall, because we live not too far away from there. So, and how Dad situated the house, you could come out on the porch and you could see the waterfall.
Right.
So it was one of our favorite places to go. So if I go visit him, I would just say, "You want to go for a walk?" And he know exactly what we're going to do, where we're going to go. And he said, "Okay." And we just gears up and we gone. And we go for the walks. And we go sit under the falls. I would probably go bathe. You just go and sit down and you look at animals, you do whatever, and then we would walk back. The last walk we did was a real nice one. We talked and it was captured nicely between him and I, and then it was just a memory. And then I went a few months ago and I took my camera again and I took some shots from below and got a really nice shot. Went back home, I found the right canvas and I painted it. It took me another 2 weeks again because I really want to take my time and get this one right.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I finished, I started to look at it. And the next thing you know was waterworks. I was like, what is this? What is this salty thing coming up my face? So yeah, it was really, meaningful and I don't know, it was cathartic. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was really,
and
really.
It's not something that happens often.
No, it was the first time that ever happened to me, and I was bawling. I couldn't understand it, but it was a release because it is one of my favorite places to go. It was one of our favorite places to go. We've gone all over around that fall. We went on top the Maracas waterfall already too. Several times in my life, and that place is a special place to me. So when I captured it and got it right, in my opinion, and then felt the right emotions, to me it was everything.
Yes. In terms of preparing for the exhibition, for the show, what are some of because this is your first exhibition, I know you said you were you're taken aback when Mr. Hanem, suggested this. But how has preparing for the show been in terms of challenges, or if you have any expectations that, just you would like to be met on that day, or how have you overcome the challenges so far?
I would say the challenge was first believing that I could do it. And then I take a lot of my my skills from being a former athlete and my skills from being a coach, and kind of did some self-talk as well too, with some, within the athlete in myself, within the coach in myself, and say, what can you do here? And I had to really look back at saying, listen, just like how you would take on training or any type of job, helping somebody get fit or strong or fast, you can do this. And what it takes is preparation. And I think the few years before, with doing collaborative shows, going to drawing class, picking up watercolor class, picking up acrylics class, seeking out the teachers and the mentors, was preparation enough to put me in a place to get the right mindset, to go into this prepared and ready. And discipline is something I'm very strong with. It's a strong value that I hold, and that discipline, that intensity made it honestly easy. So once I started, I couldn't stop. I would, every piece of time I get, I would just run to the studio start a paint. If I had to put in 2 hours, I put in 2 hours. If I had to put in 6 hours, and sometimes I would finish a painting in one night and get exactly what I want out of it because the intensity was there, the purpose that I went in with made the work come alive, made it come quickly, and that intensity with training and everything else I used to have, and it made sense for me, and it replicated in the work.
Based on your story, you know, for young emerging artists, you know, who might be struggling to, you know, chase their dream, to follow their passion, because I think art is something you definitely have to be passionate about in order for your work even to be likable, you know, in order for it to resonate with anybody. So what would you say to somebody in that light who is, they want this, but they're just scared or?
Well, I'm still a young artist, honestly, because it's only 2023 was my first real show.
Yeah.
So I'm still a young artist, but as an old coach, you know.
Because I mean, you stepped into your, I guess, and if you want to call it your timing.
Yeah.
You know, and.
Well, I would say this. I was always an artist, but I let it lay dormant for a while. Yeah, 20 years is a long time.
Yeah.
However, anybody who has something in them and they know it's there, no matter how much time has gone by, it's there. So you can't throw it away, it's there. That's part of you.
Goes to show you can't lose it either.
Can't lose it. So when people ask, well, how are you doing this so quickly? How this thing came back so fast? I never stopped drawing, I never stopped painting. I've always been a good artist. And in my head, I was always painting and drawing and taking photos and seeing things. It's when eventually I got the skill and I took the time and I practiced and I trained, it came forward. So for anyone who wants to do anything, you had to make the commitment. It's not a choice, it's a decision that you're going to go forward and put everything behind it. And don't care what people think about what you want to pursue. This is about you and your journey and what you want for your life. You only have one life to live. And that one life needs to be the best experience you could ever give yourself. Because this is a gift to me, in a sense, too, for my life. I want to be able to say, I am an artist. When I'm ready to close my eyes, I have done it. I have been successful. And that can't be taken away from me. And I want people to follow their dreams, don't let it sleep, and stay aware, be lucid all the time.
So in terms of the date of the exhibition, it is November 21st. That is opening night from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yes.
And then I see some other dates here. So we have the pieces would remain at Arnhem's.
Yes, so opening night is a big night. Everybody wants to come to that and see, you know, everything and take in everything. I'll be there. The atmosphere, the mood, everything is going to be perfect so that people come in and really kind of grasp the moment properly.
Somebody who's never been to an art exhibition.
Well, you come into this one.
What what can they expect? I mean, I've been to an art exhibition once before, and it was, to me, it's strange.
Okay.
I don't know if that's
the
right word. It's just because I think sometimes having multiple artistic people, creatives in one room can be a bit overwhelming.
Yes, it's a bit sickening
sometimes. The atmosphere,
the
atmosphere can feel a bit overwhelming. But nevertheless, it is enjoyable because looking at pieces, paintings, drawings, sculptures, whatever it may be, it's always interesting. You can always find something that you like. You know, and but let's say for a viewer who has never been to an exhibition, what can they expect out of your exhibition?
Right, so you're not going to get the arty-farty kind of pinky finger thing up. No. I'm real. I keep it real. I'm not one of those people who, you know, I speak above you that make you feel that you don't know what you're seeing.
Yes.
I try to put things and make you interpret things that's not there. What I try to do is make you feel something about your work. That's all. You come in, you see the work. If it makes you feel a certain way, we could talk about it. You felt something about the blood moon. You wanted to keep that feeling. You want that to stay with you. And sometimes that's why people buy art, because they see something, it makes them feel something, and then they want to hold on to it. And one thing about art is that, you know, you want to identify with the piece, and you buy a piece or you own a piece because it's part of your identity.
Yes.
So if you come in to my show, it's because you want to identify with some of the work that's there, and I think most people who come to the show will identify with the work because it's about things that are familiar. You know, it's not something that I don't really know anything about abstract work because I don't think that way. But what you see is things that are familiar to you, that may resonate with you, that make you feel something.
Yeah.
And if you feel strong enough that you feel, you know what, I want this to live with me, then you make the purchase or whatnot. But I'm not selling art. I want you to come in and feel the peace, feel the tranquility, whisper, and let it wash over you. Let you absorb the work, and don't study anybody else who's there, because I know I'm going to have a few artsy-fartsy people coming in and they want to talk about the work, and no, we don't have that. I'm not on that. You come in, we could have sensible conversations. There's nothing over your head.
Yes.
It's just.
So you don't have to know about art to
come
to an exhibition.
No, I don't know about it. When people talk to me about art and they talk about artists, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anything about it.
Once you have eyes and you can see,
that's all.
That's all you need to come to an exhibition, and it is. I think having that experience at least once is incredible, and we should all have that experience. It is nice. I know I said it, sometimes it can be overwhelming, but I think that's because the exhibition I went to was too many different things. Because it was drawings, paintings, sculptures, really weird, intricate, interesting, but the sculptures itself were like, somebody did that, like created something out of wire.
Right.
And that's where the overwhelming feelings would have come from.
Because it's not, and again, somebody would see, let's say, Blood Moon or even my Kobo, and be like, that's a Kobo. Why would you? And okay, it might repulse them, but somebody else, as I say, was blown away by it.
Yes.
And again, art's supposed to make you feel. So even if you get a negative feeling about it, it's good. It's okay. It's a feeling, and that's what it's about. So. You went into your last exhibition feeling a certain way, was overwhelmed. Okay, all right, explore why you was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Perhaps you didn't understand what you saw. Perhaps you was, questioning why would somebody do that? And that's the whole purpose of going to these things, because you want to understand your own feelings when you're in a space that somebody else creates something that seems to be odd or unfamiliar to you. So I would encourage people to go to art exhibitions, because before I really started back painting or anything like that. And actually, I only started learning painting last year, but I was drawing a lot. I went to the exhibitions and I looked and I tried to understand, okay, why this person think that is art? Oh my God, that's...
Yeah.
And you try to rationalize, well, this person might be crazy, but this is what's working for them. And I would see art that I think probably a toddler did this, but selling for thousands of dollars, and people flood in to buy it. And I don't question this thing.
Everybody sees something different, and that is what makes art art.
That's right.
Because even my brother, he draws.
Right.
And when sometimes his pieces, I'm like, what is that? Why are you drawing that? Like, he would draw, he's recently been into like drawing animals. And I don't get it, because why would you draw animals?
Well, it's the same thing. Why would I draw Kobo? But
yeah.
he's seeing something in the Kobo or his animals that makes sense to him, because animals really have a way. That's why people have pets, right?
Yeah.
Have a way of communicating with you in a way that other people may not see. And for me, the Kobos and the birds and the monkeys and stuff like that have communicated with me in a way that was very familiar, because of the things that I've experienced in my life. Going back to these things and capturing them spoke in a familiar way to me. So your brother's seeing it in a way that it feels familiar to him, it makes sense to him, and he documents it.
Yes. And when you put it that way, I mean, that's why people go to zoos. You go to zoo and you go and you look at animals, and that's enjoyment. So it's the same thing to put it onto a picture. And
I mean, the Kobo sat there because I was in Toko, and I was like about 10 feet away from the Kobo, and he just looking at me and I looking at him, and we having a conversation in a kind of way that he felt comfortable staying there, and I was comfortable being in his space, and we sat there for about 5 minutes, and I got enough shots, and that was that. You know, I have one with a howler monkey, and a close-up from where he's looking down at me from a bamboo, and he's very relaxed, and he's just, you know, how you going? And we had a conversation, and it was good. This one that you're seeing right now on the screen, the top picture was another one that 5 o'clock in the evening, this howler just sits there, and he's, you know, looking, and we looking at each other. No words, no expression. We just in each other's space, having a time, and I respect his space. He's given me the opportunity to be in his space and capture him and make him feel good. And I, you know, was reverent enough that I got the right shot, and I bless him with that. That's Mr. Man Monkey then. I mean, I'm good with that, you know.
So if you do happen to miss opening night, which is Saturday 21st from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., you do have the option to check out Arnim's Art Galleria after the opening night. Their hours weekdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, they're extended hours from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yes, the extended hours, I'll be there that night. So what we will be having a little wine and cheese as the artists like to have, and the Wednesday night I want to do an artist talk. So we, just like what we're doing here, I want to talk about the work, talk about each piece, and give people a chance to ask questions about the work.
Okay. Closing day, I see, it's closed on Saturdays. The gallery is closed on Saturdays.
Yeah.
But so how long are the pieces going to be at Arnim's?
Roughly 2 weeks. And,
2 weeks after the opening night.
So yeah, for 2 weeks after the opening night. So you could pop in anytime during the day. If I'm not there, what I want to do is set up a website, put some QR codes, and put descriptions and talk about the work, so that even if I'm not there, you could understand what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Griffith, for coming on, talking about the pieces, giving us understanding, and I think a more appreciation to art itself. Yeah. And these pieces are incredible. I wish you all the best at your opening night.
Thank you.
First ever exhibition. So that's Lucid Dreams Don't Sleep. That's the name of the exhibition. On Friday the 21st of November till Friday the 5th of December. And you have the opportunity to visit the gallery after the 21st till the 5th, and extended hours on Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The gallery opens from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and closed on Saturdays. So definitely, if you aren't sold yet, do take it upon yourself to visit and just keep an open mind. Art is something that is very, very incredible, and you can learn so much. You can learn so much from each piece, as simple as it may be. Awesome. All right, so we are going to take a quick break, and so stay with us. We'll be right back.
WESN.
Win a brand new ride for Christmas in a 3-car raffle organized on behalf of Queens Royal College. Merry Christmas! First prize is a luxurious, fully loaded